Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and this is StudyIQ IS. Now last week US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, he went to Ukraine and he demanded for access to about 50% of mineral resources of Ukraine in exchange of US providing military support against the Russian aggression. Now this decision of Trump administration, primarily after President Trump returned into power as US President, it appears to be an impulsive decision of President Trump. Just like he demanded for access to Greenland, he demanded for control of Panama Canal, and also he demanded for presence of United States in the disputed territory of Gaza. Similarly, this can be seen in line with one of these decisions. But when you go deep into this matter, you'll realize this is not something impulsive in nature. Rather, it is more strategic, a strategic decision of US in order to take care of its national, economic as well as security interest. Now, this deal eventually it fell through because the Ukrainian president, he felt that this deal was not on favorable terms to Ukraine, right? But why this deal happened in the first place, or why there was this possibility of this deal happen in the first place? Now you have to realize that it is widely believed that Ukraine, it possesses a large quantities of strategic minerals as well as rare earth elements, which are very essential these days, right from manufacturing of high-end weapon systems to clean energy solutions and also to manufacture electronics and semiconductors. As there are two types of these minerals, first of all, these are called as rare earth elements, which are series of 17 rare earth elements. And also there are minerals which are categorized by countries as critical minerals. And why are these categorized as critical minerals? Because these minerals, first of all, are very important for economic development and national security. And also that the availability of these minerals are not that prominent. Now, many countries, including India and US, they have wanting to possess these kind of minerals. And this is very much important for countries like US and West, primarily because it is China who controls the supply chain of these minerals. Now, China, it extracts, processes and refines them. And not just it extracts, processes and refines them from its own domestic territory, but it does so in many different countries and continents. So similarly, it's albeit natural for US to have a significant control of these minerals, and that is why US wants to possess these kind of minerals which are available in different parts of the world, including Ukraine. Now, this demand actually was seen as a very irrational demand. And why am I saying it is an irrational demand? Because Trump, he wanted US to extract $500 billion of these mineral resources from Ukraine in exchange of US supporting Ukraine against its war with Russia. But if you look at the sum total of military assistance that has been provided by US from 2014 onwards, it just amounts to about $69.2 billion. And on the other hand, US is demanding $500 billion of minerals or mineral resources in exchange for this military support. Now let us understand whether or not US can access these minerals in general, even if this deal goes through. Now there are many difficulties to it. First is the Ukrainian constitution, because according to the Ukrainian constitution, every subsoil which is located in the territory of Ukraine, it belongs to the people of Ukraine and not to any other foreign power. So for US to extract these kind of minerals from the Ukrainian territory, it would need changes in the Ukrainian laws and also in the constitution. Also, in the past, we have seen that the resources, although it is assumed that there are large presence of resources, but the quantity and quality of these resources, they are to be doubted at. Because the last geological survey that was conducted in this area, it was conducted back when the Ukraine was part of Soviet Russia or Soviet USSR. So the assumptions or the extractions or even the geological surveys that were conducted, it was conducted many years back, and not necessarily means that there are good quality and good quantity of these resources actually available at Ukraine. Also, in terms of access, US might face difficulties, as back in 2021, Ukraine, it signed a deal with European Union to allow extraction of these resources by European Union, and this was signed well before the Russia committed its aggression at Ukraine. Also, when you look at the territories which has been invaded by Russia and now becomes Russian controlled territory in Ukraine, these are about significant or about 1/5 of the total Ukrainian area. And many of these minerals that are now located, these are located under the areas which is now possessed by Russia. And one of the more important mines in Ukraine, that is Shevchenko lithium deposits, these are just 4 miles away from the current positions of the Russian army. So well be understood, as US has demanded, or a transactional demanded, for access to Ukrainian minerals and resources, but actually extracting these resources from Ukrainian territory might prove very difficult on many grounds. First of all is that the Ukrainian law, it prohibits outsiders to extract its own minerals. Also, these minerals now are under the captured territory of Russia and not with Ukraine. And also with Ukraine's decision to get into an agreement with European Union back in 2021, it puts US's directly against the interest of European Union. So this was all for today's video on whether or not US can actually demand for these minerals and can it actually invade Ukraine. Please stay tuned for more such informative videos on our platform.